Hello and welcome, driving show 33, headed out to the gym. Let me ask you, have you gone and worked out today yet? If not, there is time to do so. I myself am feeling tired and not up to 100% health for some reason. My dad has been, cars come around this corner. Oh no, my ramp is closed. Anyways, my dad has been homesick the last few days, and so now I'm kind of afraid that I'm going to be catching his cold, but I did just take a nap right before, so I think that's maybe why I'm a little bit sleepy. But also, I had a pretty bad headache this morning around 4 a.m., so I was up getting medicine, and then, it just takes me a while to fall back asleep, because I'm like, well, it's almost time to get up in like 2.5 hours by the time I fall asleep. But I think that's maybe also why I was tired, because I didn't get a full night's sleep. But I had this like crick in my neck, and I know that's why I woke up with that headache. I could tell it's directly related to that. And even now, I took more medicine in the morning, I can feel like the headache is still there. So we're gonna see if maybe the gym helps stretch things out. I don't know. I'm probably not going to swim because it's a lot of head turning, and I thought that might help kind of stretch it out, but I think no. But exciting news, at the gym I can now do the monkey bars. I did 2 sets, all to say I did it like 8 to 9 swings going down, jump down. Someone actually was talking to me that I know, so that was a good few minute break, and then I went back. And so I'm super excited because that was something I'd been working towards. So being able to accomplish that is great. It's really fun. It looks kind of dorky because I'm pretty tall and lanky, but it's a lot harder than it looks. So you ever see someone doing monkey bars and they're a grown-up, you tell them, good for you. Adults are heavy. And I'm not even that heavy compared to most people. So I'm like, it would be hard for so many people. But let's get down to this episode. I didn't have one yesterday. Just was not feeling it. There's a lot of things going on, but also not enough going on, and that's really what has gotten us here. To me, wondering, processing, questioning, asking God, am I supposed to get another job? That is something back when Starbucks closed that I was at. It seemed very clear that I wasn't supposed to stay with Starbucks. I'm supposed to do my own thing. And right before that, though, I did apply to a bunch of places, didn't hear back, so that was also confirmation, like, okay. Any of those places could have taken me. I was qualified for most of them, if not all of them. And so I've been working on the business here since like last fall. So it's been 6 months, over 6 months. And I was getting to a point where like the foundations were being built, everything was building up, gaining traction, really setting me up for the future of this business where I could make money. But let me also tell you, in these last few weeks, like nothing has really been happening. Which is, it's a given that happens with newer businesses, but really everything that I've launched as far as, so I'm still working on finishing that Ground Zero Masterclass, but the reason I stopped doing that was because I had gotten, I guess, mentorship that selling something smaller leading to that would work. Well, I came up with that. I think it's great. Unearth the business you're made for. I've run ads and I still have an ad running. Nothing. It's not getting anything. Okay, not too bad. Then I came out with the AMA Ask Michael Anything. First one is free and then pay. But I mean, free. Come on. You can ask me anything, and that's like a way, instead of doing the coaching calls or mentoring calls, an easy way where you can ask 4 to 5 questions about your small business, insight, journey, direction, guidance, whatever it is, and then I can send you back a recorded video. Launch that, also nothing. And then, so we're almost out of people that put on the podcast. After this week, I've got one more business owner that I've talked to. That person that's coming next week, stay in my lane. That person was at the very end, so they're like the last person I talked to. So they're coming out next week. It's the first full week of August. And I knew I didn't want to do the same interviews that I had been doing, just, trying something new. They weren't, like, I liked them. I think the people that were on them really liked them, but it didn't get the growth that it needs to, for me to be able to keep doing this, to pay for someone to edit them, all of that is not really there. So then I put together this whole okay, let's do shorter episodes. We'll add a video element, and I'll pair up with another business that will help promote them, and we'll do a let's get you launched. So I talked about that a lot last week, where we would help someone when they're looking to either launch their business or a new product or service, just create all of these assets to help them really get the word out, which should be really helpful, because that's one of the hardest things. And a lot of times you're having to pay Meta for ads to do that. And so I've been running 2 ads for that. And previously with the podcast, me cold calling, sending messages to people was not successful. The only way I got those 30 plus people that I talked to was from an ad. And it was a free opportunity. So this also is free. Everything on the ad talks about it being free. If you want to do it again for another product, then you would be paid. But for all other purposes, this is just kind of the other ad I had run last, I guess, early winter, so January. And so I haven't gotten anything though. No one has even applied. And so I'm just man, how weird is that? Where I know where I'm at now in my business, I cannot count on my email list to be the ones to purchase and be ready to buy things yet, just because it still is so new. I don't necessarily have aspiring owners, so that's why I'm really targeting, and everything I'm creating now is people that know they want to start a business and they're just stepping their toes into it. So I don't exactly have the right people, but at the same time, that's why I've always used ads, and the ads have been the one that have helped me. But so far, those are not doing a thing. And so now I'm am I just wasting the money? Because I just see the ads. I feel hardly anyone's seeing them, but they keep sending them to my accounts, and I'm I don't need to see my own ads. I think it's nice. One of them, it has a picture of me with headphones. I'm wow, wonderful, Michael, you look great. But it's just this weird thing where I'm okay, so what does this mean? Because I had been so optimistic about really thinking that I was just around the corner from making money. And not even enough money to live on, but okay, come on, a little bit of money. One purchase, maybe, at least, please. And so now though, everything's kind of pointing it's not doing that. So the 2 options are either, just give up on the business, which I know I don't really want to do, and I don't think that's good just to automatically jump to that. But give up, or get a full-time job that actually pays money, and then kind of rework things. Now that I've got the foundations of Philbrick set up, seeing that a lot of it is going to be email based, and then the courses, if I can't sell those first 2 courses, I'm not going to try to make new courses for a long time. So it will kind of take a backseat or be more in the background. And probably for the podcast, I would just do episodes on my own. A lot of people have even mentioned, at least my close friends and family, they liked the episodes when I talk for an hour. So if that's what the few listeners want, then I'll give that to them. So that's kind of the route I'm going through, pondering. I did apply to 2 places that kind of fit with my own experience within customer service management. And so now I'm just waiting to, I guess, hear back or get further confirmation from God if I am supposed to keep moving forward with this. And it's a tricky position to be in. I don't know if you guys have ever been in there, but knowing you thought so clearly you're supposed to do this thing, but then seeing well, maybe not. And really, at this moment, I don't care. I'm God, whatever you want, just tell me what to do and I'll do it. I'm supposed to quit the business? Okay. I don't actually think it's that, but kind of looking at all the other areas of my life is that I'm going to be turning 30 October 16th, and I do want to get married, get my own place, have kids, all of that. And to do that, a big thing that's missing is you need a job. You need a way to create and make money. So that's kind of looking at a different thing. So not just looking at myself, what do I want for my future, but what about the other people in my future, which is an eventual wife, eventual kids, an eventual house. For their good and their sake, I need to be thinking about that and also prioritizing that as a man who will need to be the one to provide. And so that's just a difference that not everyone's going to have, but I actually do want to move forward in those areas. And so I've always come back and forth to like, oh, I need to just get a job. And of course, that's what everyone's going to say. That's what the world is going to say. Just get a job. But it's not just any job, because I know very clearly I'm not going to survive in a job that I don't like, that I'm not challenged by, pushed by, that's high energy, that's hard and difficult, but also rewarding. There's a lot that needs to be there for me to be able to get back into the workforce. And I mean, ideally, I had thought I wouldn't be working for anyone else. Like, I thought that since 2021. So it is a different road in this journey and adventure of life than I would have thought. But I'm okay with that. It's just that in the past, I don't have good success in applying to places. And I don't know why. I mean, I have some ideas, but I think so many people, they just look at your resume, and then if it's not exactly what they want to see, then they just throw you out. But this one that I did apply to, and we'll probably end with this because I'm almost to the gym, it would be an onboarding specialist for a company, some sort of software, but it's working with small to medium-sized businesses. I think they have a few big ones, but it's mostly smaller medium, which I'm like, cool. I'm already excited and passionate about working with those people, but it's basically bringing them on when someone signs up and having a lot of face-to-face calls with them. And so part of me was like, oh man, that means you're stuck behind a computer. But also, I do like talking to people. I do those interviews, getting paid to talk. It's a little bit different of a format than I had thought, but I think I'd be really good at it. And I've done it in most of my other jobs with like the onboarding, creating resources. It's all stuff that I like to do, training other people, connecting with other people. So that one though, they had you, along with your resume, send them a Loom video, which if you've been listening to the show enough, I already have a Loom account for my business, and that's what I was going to do the Ask Michael Anything feature with. But they're like, send us a Loom of like who you are and why you think you'd be a good fit and why we'd be a good fit for you. So I created one yesterday when I sent it in, and it was like 11 minutes long, which I was like, oh, I don't know. They didn't say how long. It turned the music on too. Anyways, they didn't say how long to do it, but I think I gave a lot and enough of me and my experience. I know I did, where it either rubbed them the right way and they're like, cool, this person could work, or they're like, no, gross, we don't want this person. But the cool thing is that they are smaller, I think around 35 people in their business, so that's considered small, I guess. Sounds big to me. But they actually say on their thing that they go through every applicant and they'll let you know in 2 days, yes or no, if you're going to move forward. And so the guy in charge of the customer service, which is what it would be under, so that manager, it actually showed that he viewed my Loom video, because that's a cool feature they show you. I think if I didn't have an account, it probably wouldn't, but he was logged in his Loom account, so it said, I got an email, and it's through my business email. So the business email, even though I applied to them with my personal email, it was like, so-and-so has viewed your video. And I was like, oh, cool. So hopefully the guy watched the whole video. I feel like he would. And then I should know, maybe, I think tomorrow is the 2 days, but if you've ever been applying to jobs, you also know you're just like refreshing your inbox like crazy. The other one I applied to, a guy I graduated high school with, he went on and created a pretty successful business that's in the 7 or 8 figures. It's doing very well. And his sister, who is I think 2 years ahead of us, also went to the same school. She is the talent acquisition, like HR person. And so I was like, oh, nice. It's like a customer service manager for their existing team and helping build and grow the team. And so I was like, cool. Initially, I didn't think so. But then over the weekend, things have just seemingly been pointing this way that I need to do that. So that's what I went ahead and did. And I also sent her an email saying like, hey, we know each other, kind of. I went to high school with both of you. So that's something that I also will just have to wait and see. But I think the cool thing is, I don't know if I would do this for every application I send, because if you're doing a bunch, it sounds like a lot of work. But putting a Loom video onto your resume, I think is actually a really good idea. And I want to test it out. If I don't get either of these two, I want to do that, because I think if you talk to me, if I can, and that's what I've said before, I'm like, if you can get me on the phone or a call, like, you will like me. I don't know. That sounds very full of myself. But I have a lot of experience with conversations, building rapport pretty quickly with folks. That's what I told him in the thing. I was like, I've talked with so many business owners, and we start out strangers, and within a couple minutes, we're friends. So that's the update. Should I get another job? I still don't know. It's going to be something that we just have to wait and see. But man, it's a gross and scary and confusing time of life to be in when you're in that zone. So keep me in your prayers, please. But yeah, I'm gonna head to the gym right now. I got here, so go out and get your exercising in if you have not already. Your body, yourself, and your health will thank you.